Welcome back to T News 9, your go-to channel for the latest in literary delights. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of the captivating novel Love is Reborn, with a look at chapter 26, titled Almost Making the Same Mistake. If you've been following Jack and Emily's journey, you know it's been a roller coaster of emotions, growth, and second chances. This chapter is a pivotal moment, and let me tell you, it's beautifully written. So picture this. Jack and Emily are having their second dinner together. After the tension of their first reunion, you'd think it would be even more awkward, right? But it's the opposite. The atmosphere is easier, almost too easy. For Jack, this comfort is a danger zone. He feels himself slipping back into his old ways, those habits that contributed to their breakup. He's talking more, dominating the conversation, and you can just feel the old dynamic creeping back in. But here's where the magic of this chapter happens. It's a testament to real, conscious change. As Emily is speaking, she suddenly goes quiet. She just stops, mid-sentence. The old Jack might not have even noticed. He would have just filled the silence with his own voice. But this new Jack, the one who's genuinely trying to be better, he notices. He sees the shift in her expression, the pause in her story. And instead of getting defensive or ignoring it, he does something truly remarkable. He stops too. He looks at her and asks, so quietly and vulnerably, "I'm doing it again, aren't I?" Can you imagine the courage that takes? To admit your own flaw in the moment it's happening. It's a powerful scene. You can almost feel Emily's surprise, and then this wave of relief washes over her. She doesn't have to fight to be heard. He's meeting her halfway. She answers him honestly, without accusation. "A little," she says. And Jack doesn't argue. He just nods, accepting it. He says, "Thank you for telling me." Then he leans back in his chair, gives her his full attention, and truly listens. He's not just waiting for his turn to speak. He's absorbing her words, her feelings, her presence. It's a subtle shift, but it changes everything. The chapter ends on such a hopeful note. As Jack is leaving for the night, Emily says something that resonates deep within him, and honestly, it gave me chills. She tells him, "You caught yourself this time," and he smiles. A real, genuine smile. Chapter 27 of the captivating novel, Love is Reborn, titled When She Starts to Believe. This chapter beautifully captures the fragile, tender moments when trust begins to blossom again. Something shifted after that dinner. It wasn't a sudden, dramatic change, but a quiet, subtle transformation. Emily no longer looked at Jack with suspicion, as if she was just waiting for him to make a mistake. Instead, her gaze held a new emotion, curiosity, a spark of genuine interest. After their meal, they found themselves walking together. Their steps slow and unhurried, with no particular destination in mind. The city lights blurred around them as Emily opened up, sharing the frustrations of a difficult day at work. She spoke, and Jack listened. He didn't interrupt with easy solutions or try to fix her problems. He didn't offer unsolicited advice. He simply stayed present, fully engaged in her words, offering her the rare gift of his undivided attention. In that quiet space, something magical happened. Emily laughed. It wasn't a polite, restrained chuckle. It was a genuine, heartfelt laugh that echoed in the cool night air. She paused in her tracks and turned to face him, her eyes searching his. "You really are different," she said, her voice soft with a hint of wonder. Jack didn't puff up his chest or smile with pride. He simply met her gaze and nodded. "I'm still learning," he admitted, his honesty more powerful than any grand declaration. In that moment, Emily reached out and gently took his hand. Her touch wasn't demanding or tight, just a light, reassuring connection. And in that simple, unassuming gesture, Jack understood a profound truth. Trust doesn't return with loud apologies or grand, dramatic gestures. It tiptoes back into our lives in moments so small, so quiet, you almost miss them if you're not paying attention. It rebuilds itself in the shared silence, the genuine laughter, and the gentle touch of a hand. What a beautiful reminder of how love and trust can be reborn. Chapter 28. Her fear is still there. After a restless night for both Emily and Jack, the morning brought a heavy silence. Emily wasn't herself. She was quieter. Her usual quick and witty text messages now slow and short. Jack noticed the change immediately. He sensed her pulling away, but instead of panicking, he waited. He gave her the space she needed, a quiet patience he hadn't shown her before. That evening, the dam finally broke. "I'm scared," Emily confessed, her voice barely a whisper. Jack stayed silent, not out of indifference, but out of respect. He listened, letting her speak her truth without interruption. He wanted to hear every word, to understand the depth of her fear. "I'm scared that I'll trust you again," she continued, her voice trembling slightly. "And one day, I'll wake up feeling invisible, all over again." The words hung in the air between them, heavy with the ghosts of their past. Jack could feel the raw pain in her confession, the years of hurt that led to this moment. He nodded slowly, his expression serious. "That fear makes sense," he said, his voice gentle. Emily looked up, surprised. She had expected him to make grand promises, to swear that he would never hurt her again. "You're not going to promise it won't happen?" she asked, a flicker of confusion in her eyes. Jack met her gaze and shook his head. "I can't promise perfection," he said, with brutal honesty. "No one can, but I can promise awareness, and I can promise effort." Every single day, his words struck a chord deep within her. Emily looked down at her hands, twisting them in her lap. "That's what you didn't give me before," she said quietly. "The effort? The awareness?" The admission cost him, but Jack didn't flinch. He swallowed the lump in his throat. "I know." They sat together in a comfortable silence, a new kind of closeness forming between them. They weren't touching, but for the first time in a long time, they weren't pulling away either. It was a fragile truce, a delicate balance. Finally, Emily took a deep, steadying breath. "I don't want to rush," she said, her voice firm. "I can't." Jack nodded in immediate agreement. "We won't." And in that simple promise, Emily found a strange sense of peace. For the first time, she truly believed that slowing down didn't mean going backward. It meant building something stronger, something real, from the ground up. Chapter 29, titled Choosing, Not Rushing. If you've been following Emily and Jack's journey, you know the air has been thick with unspoken questions. This chapter is where the silence finally breaks, but not in the way you might expect. After a full week of quiet observation, the grand gestures and dramatic confrontations we often see in love stories were nowhere to be found. Instead, there was something far more powerful. Jack's steady, unwavering presence. He didn't push, he didn't demand, he just was there. This simple act gave Emily the space she desperately needed to breathe, to think, and to truly understand her own heart. One evening, the wait was over. Emily invited Jack to her home. The atmosphere was charged, but not with the old tension. This time, it was a different kind of nervousness. The kind you feel when you're on the brink of a significant, life-altering decision. You could see it in her eyes, not uncertainty, but the weight of a choice made with clarity. "I've been thinking," she began, her voice soft but firm. Jack simply listened, giving her the floor, a sign of the new respect that had grown between them. He knew this wasn't a moment for him to speak, but for him to hear. Emily took a deep breath and said the words that would redefine everything. "I don't want to go back to who we were." For a moment, that statement could have been an ending, but she wasn't finished. "But I don't want to walk away either." This was the turning point. It wasn't about erasing the past or pretending it didn't happen. It was about learning from it. Jack remained still, not reaching for her, not trying to fill the space with his own hopes. He let her lead. Then came the most important line, delivered with careful intention. "I want to choose us," Emily said, her gaze steady. Not because it's familiar, because it feels healthier. This wasn't a surrender to comfort or a regression into old habits. It was a conscious, deliberate choice for a better future. A future built on a foundation of healing and mutual respect. Jack's response was perfect in its simplicity. With a calm nod, he replied, "Then let's build something new. No fanfare, no promises of a perfect fairy tale. Just a shared commitment to start again, brick by brick, on solid ground." In that moment, Emily's smile wasn't the wide, carefree smile of the past. It was something more profound. It was real. That night, when Jack left, Emily kissed him. Slow, intentional, not a reunion, a beginning.